All right, guys, today what we have here is a 2005 Chevy Silverado 1500. This is a repeated customer. What I will be doing today is I am going to be replacing the coolant thermostat sensor. It is located over there. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the coolant. Typically, you would do it from the radiator, but how it's placed on this car, I'm not a fan of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a funnel and I'm going to try to make the least amount of mess as possible because it is going to be coming from the engine block. So all of that coolant will come rushing out. So I'm trying to catch as much of it as possible and put it into the drain pan that I have underneath. And then at the end, I will be doing a coolant flush. All right, this thing about to come rushing out. Did a pretty good job of catching it. I'd probably say I caught definitely 70% of it. The other 30 came out of this hose. Well, I can tell you right now, that engine block is completely empty. Let me go ahead and show you what I did. So disconnected it from there. The engine block rushed out, drained it down in there. You can see all that coolant down in there. And I also do have a tarp that will make sure that the ground stays dry. All right. So that part is done. Gonna let that continue draining out for a little bit more. While that does that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the sensor, and that is going to be a 19 millimeter. Socket. Here's what the old one looks like. Let's go ahead and compare it to the new one. So you got old, new, comparison right there. Go ahead and just twist it on hand tight. Once it gets tight because of the lock thread that's on there, you can go ahead and put the rest of it in with the ratchet. And you go till you can't go no more. That part is completely done. Okay, so now we just go back in reverse and we put this back on. And we make sure it's on nice and tight. And for this little bolt, it's a 8 millimeter. give a tug, tugging on it nice and tight. All right, so what we're doing now is we're going to complete the coolant flush portion. We've already drained it, so now we got to put coolant back in. And it takes roughly about 4 gallons of these coolant bottles. So right now I'm just making sure I just pour coolant into the reserve, then it goes into the engine block. And once the engine block has enough coolant in there, then I'm going to start the truck, and then I'm going to add the proper amount of coolant until all of the air that is in the system is completely burped out. And you turn on the heater, max it out. So that way you know your heater core is working. You know your heater core is working after your thermostat opens up. All right, so now since it's not accepting anything else, we're gonna go ahead and start up the truck. And we're also gonna turn up the heat as well. We're gonna allow that to burp. Once that thermostat kicks in, it'll suck in what it needs and it'll burp out the rest of the air. Our coolant temperature definitely is working. We're sitting roughly about at 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll also show you guys so you see. All right, so you can see right down here, it is working. It was at 0, wasn't even reading. And so we're good. I'm just gonna let that run for a couple more minutes so that way we can get all that air out of there, and then we're gonna go ahead and test drive the vehicle. You can actively hear the AC clutch kicking in and all of that, which is good. Let this run for about 30 more seconds. If we don't see any more air coming out, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off, close this off, close the vehicle, and top off to the appropriate amount of level for the coolant. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take it on the test drive. All right, guys, looks like we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off and turn off the vehicle, and then we're gonna go from there. Oh, and I did misspoke. So, uh, it does not take 4 of those bottles, 4 gallons of those. It took a little bit more than 2.5. Well, I was on my 3rd bottle, and I got more than 3/4 of the way there. So that's all right. We'll clean that up. I have a little bit too much coolant in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and suck it out to the appropriate amount. All right, I went ahead and I siphoned it down, went and test drove it, so now it's good to go.